Or like a weasel. I call him a weasel.
Oh, that's it. Wear your mask.
Yeah.
Now we gotta go to double mask.
Right. Yeah. He said double masks just make sense. It just makes sense to wear a double mask. Well, I guess if you're going into like a COVID infected room, I guess it makes sense. But at that point, why would you even go into there? And you'd have to wear goggles too, and probably maybe even cover your ears. I don't know. But I don't buy it. I don't buy it as being necessary. Hazmat suit. Yeah, exactly. I think that there is a overreaction to this COVID thing. Actually, I don't think I know.
They want to scare the death out of everybody. That way people say, oh, no, it's so dangerous.
YouTube buffering. We dropped and restarted just now, guys. Sorry about the drop, guys. I think we're back. Here, let me, I know that YouTube just restarted. Oh, yeah, and so did Periscope. That was a pretty hard, not YouTube, but Facebook and Periscope restarted, guys. Okay, I'm back online. I should be back online, guys. Sorry about that. What a mess. YouTube crashed, so did Facebook. I think everything crashed. I don't know if you could tell.
Are you on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm on my own YouTube channel. I should be back on Twitch. I'm not sure. I'm back on Facebook, DLive, YouTube, Periscope, and Trovo. The connection was lost, but I'm back on. And I don't know if it's an entire new YouTube link, but it is an entire new Periscope stream, and apparently an entire new Facebook one, too. What a mess. Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, so what you on YouTube and Facebook?
Yeah, the Hake Report on YouTube as well as Facebook.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
I didn't know you was on YouTube. I'll be watching you on YouTube if I get a chance to.
Oh, how do you listen then?
I listen to you on my phone. I call in, get on wait, and once I usually get through, then I just,
Oh, really? So you just listen by being on hold, and then that's it, and you don't hear the show other than that?
Oh no. If I'm on hold, I listen to it that way. But once I get off hold, then so you better took my call. Then I produce that. It's a 641 number you guys have that you can just put in there and just dial through it. You can hit a whole show.
Okay. Yeah. So you use like the TalkStream live call-in number, maybe for the Jesse Lee Peterson show. It might continue playing me.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I use for both of y'all shows.
Okay. Yeah. Jesse Lee Peterson is on YouTube as well. Jesse Lee Peterson on his channel. At least currently.
Oh, yeah. I know he's on YouTube,
but
I didn't know you were on YouTube, on Facebook, so you're on the Hake Report, so I know.
That's right.
I know now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, for YouTube, it's just called Hake, but yes.
Oh, okay. Hake, okay. And
excuse me.
On Facebook, it's called Hake Report?
Yeah, the Hake Report on Facebook.
Okay, gotcha. I get the long band in my system, so shoot.
Nice.
You going to take the shot, James?
The shot? Did you say, am I going to take the shot?
Yeah.
No, not if I can help it.
Me too, because I'm doing all I can. But now a Republican congressman suggested that people that want they stimulus check get the vaccine shot.
Are you serious?
Why would he suggest that? Yeah, I saw that float. A Republican congressman. My cousin told me about it. Well, he's a liberal. He couldn't wait to tell me.
Wow.
So, I had to look it up, man. And it was a Republican Congress suggested that people that want their stimulus check get the vaccine shot.
Ohio Representative Stivers. $1,400 stimulus checks should go only to those who get COVID-19 vaccines, says Republican Congressman Steve Stivers from Ohio. Stivers.
I would have been surprised if it had been a Democrat because they want to control everybody anyway.
Yeah.
But I was a little surprised that they were Republican, man. So I'm like,
me too.
My thing is they are destroying people's businesses, and that's the last thing someone is supposed to get some help that they deserve anyway. It wasn't even their fault.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Somebody got to take a shot.
What's wrong with that guy?
I don't know. I couldn't believe he suggested that.
Yeah, of course.
And my cousin, he's a liberal. He couldn't wait. I was saying, I said, no, that's a Democrat. He said, oh, no, cuz. That's a Republican.
Well, he's from
I looked it up.
Ohio. He's from Ohio, so he might as well be a Democrat. The Ohio people are a bunch of rhinos, and this is a 55-year-old man. Looks like he might be regular white. I'm not sure. But, oh, man, that's terrible. And he was a former Eagle Scout, by the way. Yeah.
Wow.
What a sleaze.
I couldn't believe he suggested that, man. Because I'm like, people have lost their businesses.
Yeah.
All because of COVID-19 that Fauci and President Obama funded it just to get rid of President Trump. And now people had to shut their businesses down.
Yeah.
Don't know where they're going to start. And $1,400 is not that much money anyway. This time you pay your utilities and your car insurance and get some food in the house. What money start?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and then we're told, well, in order to get you got to take a vaccine shot. Man, come on, man.
We need to open up the businesses and shut down the government for 4 years.
Yeah,
That would be nice.
I never thought I'm not for term limits, and the reason why I'm not for term limits is because, I like, if people like ineffective politicians, that's
Stay close to your phone, Rick. You're kind of coming in and out. It's rough.
Oh, can you hear me now, James?
Kind of, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I'm in a bad area normally when I'm on base, and is that better now?
Yeah, just stay close to it.
Okay, yeah. And my thing is, I don't get it. This whole virus was created to get rid of President Trump. That's all it was. They couldn't beat him in a straight-up election.
They definitely exploited it. That's for sure. Once they found a get Trump angle, they went and got Trump. It's ridiculous. And they went after the American people too, just destroying.
You know what? You're right.
I think poverty is taking the biggest spike, maybe ever. So-called poverty, right? Because people aren't allowed to work, and it's affecting the most vulnerable people. If you pardon my use of the term, the worst. It's affecting the people who are making the least, the most.
Right.
And meanwhile, the media, they stay paid because they're essential. And the federal government and the local government, they stay paid because they're so-called essential in their minds. And it's a shame.
What? Dr. Leprechaun Fauci, he's probably the richest government employee there is.
That's what I heard. Yeah, the highest paid. Rick, that's wild, man. I appreciate the tip on that. Ridiculous Congressman Steve Stiver of Ohio, Republican.
People get the shot.
Shameful.
Before they get and for $1,400. So I guess if that 14 is going to kill somebody, they've gave up their life for $1,400.
Yeah. I appreciate it, Rick. I got to run, man. Take care.
Love you, man. Keep up the good work. The Hate Report.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Let me get to Robert in Kansas. He wants to comment on a Kobe Bryant conspiracy. Robert, how are you doing?
Doing well, Hake, and that's right. I want to talk about Kobe Bryant, given this day. And real quick, though, to your last caller, the reason they're saying double mask now is because they're doing experiments in science and finding that when you exhale through the mask, you're causing something called aerial dispersal of like microscopic water droplets.
Even smaller, huh?
Yeah, even smaller, and they float in the air for a long time, as opposed to like any sort of spittle or something from your mouth would just fall to the ground.
Right.
And what's happening is this cloud of like moist air, it's staying in the air longer, and then when it gets in your eyes or gets in your nose or whatever, it causes you to get sick. So they're saying the masks are actually spreading the disease more. So that's crazy, huh?
Yeah, that is crazy. And I believe it. They're just so ridiculous. They come up with these false solutions and then come up with worse solutions. Shameful.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's crazy. As far as the Kobe thing goes, there's a lot of stuff online and whatnot. You can look all this up. But when Kobe died, he was worth about $600 million, okay, almost $500 million. And when you play in the NBA that long and you have good money managers, you can amass that type of fortune. And his managers, his money guys, they got him involved in several companies, but a lot of them had to do with the medical industry and biotech type companies, let's say.
Yeah.
And apparently, when you get a certain position in a company, once you reach a certain percentage of ownership, like 5% or say, which is a big ownership, you get an ownership share, and you're invited to the shareholders meetings and stuff like that. And apparently, what happened is Kobe was in this meeting where they were saying that they're going to have a virus come into the country, that it's basically all spurious, it's all fake, and they're going to make billions of dollars off of this situation. It's a big plan to scam a bunch of money and make, literally billions of dollars to these companies.
Uh-huh.
Well, Kobe Bryant knew about that, and apparently the people that run these companies, and bigger fish than even him, they got word that Kobe Bryant was saying things like, you know what, I'm not going to go along with this. I'm not going to lie to everybody just to make money. And the problem with Kobe saying that is Kobe Bryant is really famous.
Yeah, and popular.
So if Kobe Bryant were to get on the TV somewhere and say that this is all fake and they're lying to you, it could destroy the whole thing. And so apparently the conspiracy is that they put him up there in his chopper and got him to a certain point in the sky where they could aim what's basically an anti-aircraft weapon at him, and they blew him out of the sky, Hank, because he was going to blow the lid off of this fake virus situation we're all in now. And that's
Wow.
the conspiracy of Kobe Bryant, that he was actually a rich guy who decided to have a compass, a morality, and not make more money, but actually tell the truth. And that's what it gets you, I guess. If you're in that world and you decide to be a good guy, I guess they can shoot you out of the sky when you're in your helicopter. So that is the Kobe Bryant conspiracy. Hopefully it's not true, but there's a lot of people that say that he just wanted to be honest about it, and he stood in the way of too much money from too many people,
Yeah.
and they just blew him up, man. So yeah, that really sucks that happened, but certainly would make sense to me if they, the way these people think, they'll kill you for money, man. It's no problem. They'll kill you for little stuff, let alone billions of dollars. So
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the theory, guys. Appreciate the tip, Robert. Interesting, man.
yeah, man. Yeah, man, no problem, man. I hope you guys figure out the whole Trump thing. I mean, he turned into a big beta, guys, and he didn't do anything. And, Las Vegas happened, and he blamed white supremacy. He's waving gay flags.
Did he really blame white supremacy for Las Vegas?
Yep. He blamed white supremacy, and he took away bump stocks and said that, we need to take away the guns and then have due process. I mean, the guy.
How do you blame white supremacy for an attack on a country music festival in Las Vegas?
Well, they said
That's
that
wild.
guy, that Paddock guy, who he was a senior citizen. He was
Right.
a multimillionaire, and he was all by himself. You got cameras all over a casino. I mean, there's literally in the bathroom, there's cameras in casinos, guys. And they said that they never saw him bring anything up there. He's all by himself, and he shot all those, it just, none of it makes sense. And Trump went along with that too, man. And it's the same thing. He went along with COVID, shut the country down. I mean, man, I don't hate Trump. I feel like I was fooled by him in 2016. Like, I thought he said everything right, and then he was pretty good up until Las Vegas. And then every year after that, it got worse and worse and worse until the economy shut down and people had face diapers on. And I don't know, man. I don't know if he was just controlled opposition or what, but
Keep it as an I don't know. I would say that, at least.
Well, all I know is that the country is the way it is now.
Yeah.
And it happened under Trump, and he could have come out and said that this was all fake. He could have opened up the businesses, even just with a tweet, right? Like, so let's say the governor of California shuts down California. Let's say Trump tweets to Californians, open up your business. I will protect you. There will be no fines. There will be no punishment. I will protect you. Open your business. Trump could just say that in one tweet and change the whole dynamic of the situation, but he went along with it, and I thought maybe he thought that he could somehow judo move it and get it to the right, get something out of it. But, man, he ended up being a vaccine salesman, man, and I don't know what Trump did. Maybe he just I don't know, man. All that money, you're a billionaire. I guess if you don't want to be executed by these people, you go along with them. But it takes that one guy to try to stand up, to try and change the world. And that's what I hope Trump would have done. And I don't think he did it, Hank, the way that you and Jesse do. I'm not on the same level of continuing to think that Trump is a good guy. I thought that in 2017. Yeah. But I just can't think that anymore, man. I can't do it.
All right,
Yeah.
man. Well, I think it's a little unrealistic to expect that Trump even could have protected our local businesses from the whole rest of the federal, state, and local governments that want to come down and clamp down on local businesses. But I appreciate it, man. I'm glad that you got that off your chest. And it is interesting because that's how a lot of people feel about Trump. I just think it's a little unfair, or a lot unfair. But we'll talk again, man. Appreciate it. Interesting, Robert.
All right, Hank, you have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Take care. Yeah, Kobe Bryant. I mean, that's wild. It was a year ago, but it fell on a Sunday morning. I remember because we were in church and I was seeing all these tweets because I get notifications from Cernovich, and he was tweeting about, oh my gosh, Kobe Bryant. And sure enough, Jesse Lee Peterson's PR guy, Ermias, announced in church that day, Kobe Bryant just died in a helicopter crash along with his daughter, I think 13-year-old daughter. And did you know that it was 7 other people killed, including was it an Armenian? I think it was an Armenian helicopter pilot. He thought, oh, I can fly through the fog. And I think they crashed into the side of a hill over there, not too far away. Crazy, and died. On a Sunday morning, he should have been going to church with Jesse Lee Peterson on YouTube. But no, he flew from, I think, down in San Pedro, Ports of Call or something, up to, I guess he lives in that place where all these rich people live, Kanye and all them. It's a place, starts with a C. I'm blanking on the name of the place, but what a shame. And his wife, Vanessa Bryant, on Kobe and Gianna. Why did this happen to such amazing people? Calabasas, yeah. Why did this happen to such amazing people is the TMZ headline. Paraphrasing what she said. And I don't know if that's a direct quote, but what, is this supposed to happen to, like, unremarkable people? It's so weird. But, you know, when you're going through it and people don't know how to grieve and get over it, I guess, that is a shocking thing. For Kobe Bryant gone? I thought he would be here forever. Wow. Crazy incident. And the conspiracy theories surrounding every popular public figure who gets killed, they think that the conspiracy theorists think that this popular figure was going to blow the whole lid off of everything. Whether it was Elvis, I don't know about Elvis, but JFK, all these people that get killed. Michael Jackson, I don't know if Michael Jackson, but there's a bunch of these guys that they die and they were about to expose child sex trafficking or something like that. Oh, not Epstein. Those guys with the screamy voices, they're miserable. The angsty new metal stuff. That guy Chester Bennington or Benningfield, whatever his name was, the Trump hater who killed himself from Lincoln Park, and then that other guy Chris Cornell from Soundgarden and other bands. They ended up killing themselves, and they're like fathers. Like Chester Bennington was a father of like 5 or 6 kids, I think. Idiot, and he killed himself. And then there's kids killing themselves, and Trump is calling, let's open up the country again. Well, Chester Bennington and Chris Cornell didn't know anything about COVID shutdowns. They just killed themselves because they're miserable people, right? But these kids, young people, 9-year-old, killing themselves? Kobe's wife was a voodoo witch. Whoa, I disavow. Man, what a mess. So here's why Mike Lindell was banned from Twitter. According to Michael Tracy, Mike Lindell, the MyPillow guy, his offense was allegedly committing repeated violations of Twitter's civic integrity policy. Civic integrity policy. That means you can't question the results of the election. That's what that means. Which prohibits claims that could undermine faith in the civic processes such as elections. And he sarcastically says, thank God we have this tech clergy to mandate faith-based adherence to civic virtues. Because AP tweeted, Twitter has permanently banned MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell's account after he continually perpetuated the baseless claim is the mainstream media's lie, that President Donald Trump won the 2020 U.S. presidential election. He's like the nicest guy. Baseless claim. There's another thing that I read about with Lin Wood. You know, the lawyer Lin Wood? I wasn't really a fan of his posting all these Bible verses and talking about, oh, we're going to win. And he was a pro-Trump lawyer, right? And he successfully sued on behalf of Nicholas Sandmann, the Covington Catholic School young man, high schooler, who participated 2 years ago at a pro-life rally in Washington, D.C. And then these boys, these young men, high schoolers, Catholic young men, were standing in front of like the Lincoln Memorial or something in Washington, D.C. And in Washington, D.C., that's like activistville, activist city. So the black Hebrew Israelites, they're a mixed bag. Some of them are nice, some of them are crazy. And these guys were pretty crazy, calling these boys crackers and stuff like that. And pretending, oh, we're the true Israelites and you racists and crackers or whatever. Just raising hell against these high schoolers. And then this American Indian guy going, hey, yeah, yeah, and then banging his drum, walks right up to the white boys' faces, the white boys when they're MAGA hats, some of them. And some of the white boys are like, and doing the Atlanta Braves Indian chop thing. Tomahawk chop or whatever. Just funny, just being funny, having fun with it. And they're being called racist by the mainstream media. And whatever that guy's name, he's an infamous activist, this American Indian with this long hair. He's all old and decrepit and skinny. And gets in the face of Nicholas Sandmann beating the drum, and they're pretending that Nicholas Sandmann is in the wrong, saying he got in his path. Not true. Nicholas Sandmann was just standing there. And you could honestly see that in the 3-second clip that they played. I'm exaggerating how short the clip was. You could tell that he was just standing there. The Indian walked up to him, but yet they're pretending that he got in his path, blocked his path, and was racist with his racist smirk. And so the great lawyer Lin Wood, I mean, right on to him anyways, defended him against the mainstream media, Washington Compost and CNN and everybody calling him racist. Even Ben Shapiro, because Ben Shapiro kind of falls for the anti-white notion of racism and, you know, hates Trump type of thing. Oftentimes, very unfair at times, person not clear-minded in certain times. Well, he fell for the racism thing. Oh, these are terrible boys. Rather than being sane, wait until like we get the whole story. And honestly, this guy looks like he's looking for trouble, this Indian activist, American Indian activist. Well, Lin Wood successfully won him some settlements, Nicholas Sandmann. But Nicholas Sandmann has now been fired, according to Reuters, as of Monday. And he tweeted, actually, Nicholas Sandmann, who's like 18, 19 now. He tweeted, he's no longer representing me. Lin Wood, his comments about me are untrue, and I don't know what comments. Lin Wood was banned from Twitter some weeks back amid the thing because Lin Wood has been fighting for election integrity, right? And he's a little weird, right? He's a little kooky, I think. I will not say that about, what's her name, who also was fighting for election integrity, Sidney Powell, because I just don't consider her to be like that. But Lin Wood is a little, maybe he got angry at what's going on, and that can definitely drive you nuts. Angry is mad, and mad is insane, right? But I think that Nicholas Sandmann has been swallowed by the establishment. He became Team Mitch, as in pro Mitch McConnell, and just became, I think, very establishment friendly. Somebody said in my previous stream, because I have 2 streams today. Sorry, guys. Not my fault, I don't think. Maybe it's because of the heat in here. That I heard that Nicholas Sandmann is going along with the establishment narrative about this election was totally on the up and up, right? Well, Lin Wood was fired. In a statement shared on Telegram on Sunday, Wood said he expected Sandmann would abandon him because of earlier social media posts in which Lin Wood suggested former Vice President Mike Pence engaged in treason and could face execution by firing squad for formally recognizing the election victory, supposed, of phony Joe Biden, sleepy Joe Biden. Wood said in a Telegram post that his comments about Pence were rhetorical hyperbole, right? So Sandmann, who's apparently 18, this is Reuters writing, right? Sandmann expressed alarm at Wood's comments earlier this month. On Twitter, the teen shared one of Wood's social media posts about Pence and wrote, "I'm sorry, but what the H? What the heck?" But without the k. And so what does Reuters say but write, "The move is the latest indication that those who supported former President Donald Trump's baseless claim that his loss to Biden was a result of mass fraud could face longer-term professional consequences." No, not true. I don't think. I think that if Lin Wood had stayed kind of sane, well, yes, a little bit. Yes, a little bit. But his "I'm sorry, but what the H" was Lin Wood's nutty comments. A whole lot of people who were questioning the election results were not saying that Mike Pence deserves the firing squad, right? Or he's going to be executed for treason. But that's Jan Wolf. There's that name again, Wolf. Not a normal Christian person writing that. Maybe it's Jan Wolf. For Reuters. This is their writing, right? Saying that, oh yeah, Lin Wood is just another example of the people questioning the election results. Well, actually, they want that to happen. They want to destroy anybody who was fighting for election integrity. And the stuff that the Democrats are fighting for is to outright undermine any like safeguards in terms of the election. I told you in Hake News at the end of hour 2, I believe, that Amy Klobuchar, she's like known as the meanest person to work for, very difficult woman, a Democrat from Minnesota. She ran for president, a female Democrat, senator actually. She introduced H.R. 1, the For the People Act, which according to the Gateway Pundit, which is like a centrist, sometimes liberal, sometimes so-called conservative outlet, independent outlet sort of, that she's justifying introducing this For the People Act to ban the requirement of a social security number, ban voter ID, promote vote by mail, mandatory nationwide mail-in voting, I think, register you to vote when you get a driver's license, and they're supporting illegal aliens getting driver's licenses here in California and Nevada, I hear. Mandates early voting, prohibits the work done, such as by Judicial Watch, to clean voter rolls of non-residents, and all kinds of stuff. Bans a personal identification requirement as a condition to obtaining a ballot, so you don't even have to show your ID to get a ballot or to vote. Lays the groundwork for D.C. and Puerto Rico, which are socialist-leaning areas, to be states. Put redistricting in the hands of Congress. Just corruption. And that's what they've been doing. And so that's what they mean when they say Republicans are trying to make it harder to vote. We want more people to vote. We think the more people vote, the better. And yeah, because the more people that vote, the more idiots vote, right? Very true. And so anybody calling for voter integrity is smeared, completely smeared, including Rand Paul, who I don't trust that guy because he voted He voted to certify Joe Biden for president, but now pretends that he's for voter integrity. And he gave us that hint beforehand because he said the fraud happened, he said. I'm just quoting him. I'm disavowing his words, right? He said the fraud happened. Now we have to, going forward, figure out how to not have that happen. In other words, he just surrendered the election before the election was even really over. Shameful, Rand Paul. Very shameful. Sickos. So, these weirdos. What a mess. But did you hear? Oh, by the way, they are very important. It's their solemn duty. I have a photograph. I don't know who took this photograph. And I will get to your super chats, guys. Hang tight. Of Trump's. They're delivering the articles of impeachment against President Trump in this Congress. Congress is delivering, I guess there's only one article of impeachment. He incited an insurrection, right? It's fake impeachment, second impeachment. And there's this picture of all these Democrats dressed in black, females and POCs and males. I think there's some males in there. They're delivering. This is my solemn duty, one woman tweeted. One woman, I think her name was Dean, tweeted, it's to deliver the article of impeachment to the Senate so that the Senate can start their trial of the president, who is no longer officially president, right? According to what we're told. Look at these goofy people. So self-important. We should shut down. These people are non-essential. And a bunch of them are old, right? They don't need to be working. Right? President Trump, our real great president, you can still call him president even after he's left office, has established his office of the former president, Donald Trump, from Palm Beach County, Florida. He moved to Florida, right? The 45th president of the United States yesterday announced that he formally opened his office of the former president. The office will be responsible for managing President Trump's correspondence, public statements, appearances, and official activities to advance the interests of the United States and to carry on the agenda of the Trump administration through advocacy, organizing, and public activism. He will always and forever be a champion for the American people. I don't know, Robert. I think that he still cares about America. He's a boomer. And one of the decent ones, one of the good ones. President Trump, and, on Twitter, they were talking about, the office of the president. He just invented the fake office of the president. But actually, all former presidents have the office of the former president. So, right on, President Trump. Looking forward to seeing what you do. We'll see. Yeah, the office of the president-elect. That might have been made up by Joe Biden. And he wasn't even officially president-elect, honestly. But the mainstream media went along with it. Which one is faker, guys? Which one is phonier? Like, these people are not legitimate. By the way, they're going after Trump big time. I mean, not Trump, Tucker Carlson big time. He's standing for what's right, I say. By the way, Tucker Carlson, he's stood up for free speech. He's stood up for this immigration insanity, both legal and illegal, against it, right? Against the insanity. But now the fake news is going after him. They're going after everybody who's doesn't trust what the mainstream media tells you. Doesn't trust you on vaccines. You called an anti-vaxxer. Ooh, this is very dangerous. Just bully you into submission, right? Just browbeat you into submission. And now they're going after the QAnon. All this scaremongering about QAnon people. And they're using the January 6th incident as example of, Q terrorism, pro-Trump terrorism, MAGA terrorists. Give me a break. Fox News is turning into info wars before your very eyes, says the far left, enemies of America. They call themselves sleeping giants. They're the ones who've been trying to get basically everybody halfway decent banned from public life, right? We went after Bill O'Reilly, went after Sean Hannity, they're going after Tucker. They said this segment could just as easily have come from Alex Jones, who, like, generally is more honest than they are, way more honest. Give me a break. How can major advertisers, they're going after the advertisers, like GM, Allstate, Progressive, Kraft Heinz Company, and Procter & Gamble sign their names to this with their ad dollars? And the headline from some guy, Andrew Lawrence, is Tucker Carlson defends QAnon. Actually, he was defending freedom of speech. Because there's an attack on the freedom of speech and on truth, honestly. Because QAnon may not be for truth. They may be a little off the deep end. Mostly harmless, right? They just don't like pedophiles. And they may jump to conclusions a little bit. Jump to conclusions, not a good thing. But they don't go after the whole fake conspiracy theory of racism like that. And that's far more destructive. The mainstream media's fake news is far more destructive than any fake news that gets put out on any obscure fake news that goes viral on Facebook. Give me a break. Phony people. So no, Tucker's not defending Q except that they're Americans and they have the American right of the freedom of speech. And I'll take Q before I take mainstream media. I can see plainly right through where Q goes awry, and everybody knows that the fake news is far more destructive. What a mess. Just messy people. There are crazy riots against these lockdowns. It's going on in, I think I told you guys about Holland. Lockdown measures. Oh. Speaking of this lockdown mess, Fauci, that phony guy Fauci, he says, as if this is a bad thing, Trump wanted me to be more positive on the coronavirus outlook. And isn't that so Trump? As opposed to the typical doctor or liberal. The doctors and the liberals are, it's such a bleak outlook. Oh, you don't want to suffer. Oh, take your pain medication. I've noticed most of the time, whenever I've been prescribed pain medication, it's only been like a couple of times in my life. Only male landowners should have the right to vote, says Pronounce It. Yes. I generally have not taken that pain medication, and I have not needed it. And yet doctors will prescribe this stuff willy-nilly. And their excuse will be, I have friends who've become doctors, right? And some of them cheated off of me in school. But they went on to do like serious schools and stuff like that, right? They will prescribe this stuff and say, well, it's because the people are demanding it. The patients are demanding it. They want it. Well, in many cases, the patients aren't even asking for it. I didn't ask to be prescribed pain medication for different things, right? But they still prescribe it willy-nilly. They always have this, take a break. Stay off of your feet. You're injured? Don't run. Don't play soccer. Don't play football. When oftentimes the best solution is to jog it off or walk it off, some injury or other. So doctors are dreary and liberal. And Trump has always been positive. Don't let it ruin your life. Don't let it run your life. That's how he wins so much. Or how he has won in life, right? By being positive, confident, never giving up, never getting a dreary outlook. Have you ever seen Trump with a dreary outlook? I don't think I have. Not really. You can't keep a decent man down. There's no good men, right? And so he wanted Fauci to be more positive. That's a good thing. It's a good thing. And honestly, this melodrama about the COVID thing, it's not that deadly of a disease. I hear that, yeah, the morgues are backed up. We can't get a funeral. We can't get bodies burned for a few months, right, in LA County. I blame that more on overcrowding of LA County, which is a sanctuary inside of a sanctuary state of California and inside a sanctuary city and county of Los Angeles County. Los Angeles County meddled in the affairs of the state of Arizona for trying to get a handle on their illegal immigrant problem, right? We're opening the treasure chest. Let me open the D Live. Did you know that I can do treasure chests on D Live, even though I cannot accept lemons or diamonds or ice cream? Let's see what I have. Hopefully I have something to give. I have nothing left to give. Oh yeah, I can give you 400 lemons. Let me distribute this. 107 to make it even 400. Hang tight, guys. We are opening up the treasure chest on dlive.tv/The Hague Report. Even though they demonetized this all. What a mess. It's funny, they still have Nick J. Fuentes on my side thing because I was following him. But then I go to it, it says, channel has been suspended. Back to home. Wow. Anyway, the treasure chest is opening. Oh, it was 300. Oops. Sorry, guys. Whatever. Oh, I gave 107, so you're only getting 300 lemons. I'll give you more tomorrow, maybe. Congrats to Based AF, America First. Mr. J. Brindle, Take Care Business Bear, and CEO of Based. Wow. The Based boss himself. Thank you. But President Trump, positive. These liberals, negative. And it's like so female. They're acting like this is Ebola. People are all freaking out about not wearing a mask. We need to double mask. How can I give you my lemons, Hank? You can't. You can't. Fauci's the highest paid employee in the federal government, according to Breitbart. Phony people. What a mess. By the way, President Trump endorsed Sarah Sanders. He's so pro-woman. That's one of the things I don't agree with President Trump about. He endorsed, I mean, it's just classy. She worked for him. Of course he's going to endorse her. But Sarah, formerly Huckabee, right? Because she's the daughter of Mike Huckabee, the former governor of Arkansas, I think. Wow, he was the governor of Arkansas, just like Bill Clinton, right? Wasn't Bill Clinton the governor of Arkansas? Ugh. Sarah Huckabee Sanders is running for governor of Arkansas. She's a mother. How old are her children? Doesn't she have like 2 or 3 children or more? Married woman. I don't even think that she should have, although she did a pretty good job. I liked her kind of no nonsense, going after the media, defense of President Trump. I like that. I think she's actually tougher than Mike Huckabee, because Mike Huckabee I don't think of as very tough. By the way, that guy gained weight. But yes, Trump has endorsed Sarah Sanders for governor of Arkansas. Not looking up. We need men to stand up, right? Speaking of women, you remember that lady, Gabby Giffords? This is the last few minutes here. I'm going to try to run through the evil Biden things. Gabby Giffords says, 2021 goal is to push gun control via powerful platforms in Hollywood. This is not a decent woman. Gabby Giffords. Gabby Giffords is I think she was a female congressman from one of these states, like Arizona or somewhere. She was in a gathering of like 6 or so people, I want to say. And some white guy, young man, I use the term man loosely, walked up and shot him up. And she was shot in the head, and it was a long recovery. It was terrible. Everybody felt sorry for her. They were so happy for her when she recovered, but she became an even more radical anti-gun nut case. Gabby Giffords. And because people feel sorry for her, they act like they should listen to her. It's kind of like listening to the parent of a child who was mass murdered in one of these mass murders, right? At school shootings. Unless it's a pro-gun parent or a pro-gun son, right? These phony people. The Vatican, the Catholic fake leadership, they're calling for unprecedented collective response to climate change. Wow, they're falling for that fake religion of climate change too. Very faith-based. Biden wants to speed up the replacing of Andrew Jackson on the $20 bill with Harriet Tubman, the black woman who did the Underground Railroad, to work for other white people, alleged white people. What a mess. Joe Biden says America is safer when transgender Americans can serve openly. Yeah. And then he sends a post-9/11 anti-terrorist intelligence official after the white people. That's what I heard from the internet. Sleazy, messy people. Anyway, this has been the Hake Report, guys. It's getting warm. TheHakeReport.com for my stuff. JesseLeePeterson.com for Jesse Lee Peterson's stuff. Take care and have a good day. Bye.